Hello, it's Mr. DeBetz again, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you the functions of the different tools here in your toolbar. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is take your picture of the kangaroo. I'm going to drag it into my timeline. So now it's going to appear here. It is super zoomed in at 800%. So I'm going to zoom it out to about 100%. And then there we go. We got this beautiful picture of this kangaroo here. All right, first thing that we're going to want to do is we're actually going to scale this image so it fits the composition. So to do that, you're going to click on the kangaroo.jpg here on your timeline. You're going to click S for scale. And we're going to adjust this to about 49 by 49. All right, so once that's scaled and it's fitting, I'm going to show you some of the different tools here. So on the upper left hand here, if you select the tool, you're going to see the name and the hotkey. This is our selection tool. This basically just allows you to click on different things. You can click on your project media bin. You can click on things in the timeline. You can click on different effects. Your next tool is called your hand tool. And then what's nice here is this actually allows you to move the whole composition window. So notice how this isn't very centered. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to move it. So now that it's more centered, I'm also going to sort of change the scale here so I can see what I'm looking at. So again, the hand tool, it actually moves the whole composition. Whereas if I were to use the selection tool here, it's actually moving the image and not the whole composition. All right. Next is your magnifying glass. This just zooms in. So if you're trying to zoom in on a specific image or part of your video, you would just click on that. Then to zoom out, you would just click Command and minus. And again, you can also just do that here on the sub menu as well. I'm going to move this image. I'm going to then go to fit. All right. Your next tool that I'm going to go over is called your rotation tool. Essentially, you can just click on an image or video and it allows you to just simply rotate it. And again, I'm going to undo. To undo, I just hit Command Z. After that is going to be something called the pan behind tool. And this is important because it's going to allow you to sort of focus in on specific parts of a video or image. So you're going to notice whenever you upload an image or video to your composition, there's this thing here called the anchor point. And essentially what this allows me to do is to change the focal point. So right now I'm going to put it on its nose. If I were to adjust the scale, it's going to zoom in on the nose of this kangaroo. Again, if I change this to its eyeball and I go to my scale, it's then going to focus on the eye. So again, this tool becomes important when you're trying to add motion or zoom effects or scale to some of your video or your pictures here. All right, the next one, which is a really important one, is called your rectangle tool. This is where it allows you to either mask or add shapes to your timeline. So if you click and hold, you'll actually open up a sub menu that gives you more shapes. So your rectangle, a rounded rectangle, an ellipse, a polygon, and a star. In this case, I'm going to use a rectangle tool. So first thing I'm going to show is if you're not clicking or selecting anything in the timeline and you have a rectangle, you're going to click and drag, and it's actually going to create a shape layer. So it's going to add a shape layer. In this case, it's a square or a rectangle, excuse me. You can change the color if you want. You can add a stroke or an outline to it if you like as well. But again, that's just sort of how to add a shape and to add another layer. I'm going to delete that. But now notice if I have the kangaroo selected and I go to my rectangle tool and I click and I drag, it actually creates a mask. So now it allows me just to focus on a specific part of the image and it's going to crop out everything else around it. I'm going to undo. Again, I can change the shape, in this case maybe a star tool, click drag, so now it's a star. I can go to my selection tool. I can actually move the position of this now as well. All right, after your rectangle tool, you're going to show you the pen tool. The pen tool is very similar to the rectangle tool, but it allows you to make your own shapes. So again, I go to my pen tool. I'm just going to sort of go around this kangaroo's face. And once I close it, it creates my custom shape. but I'm going to delete this. But again, if I have the kangaroo selected in the timeline and then go to my pen tool, I'm going to drag in again around its cute little face here. It actually creates a mask and isolates that specific part of the image. But again, I'm not going to use this right now, so I'm going to undo everything. Command Z. And then the last one I'm going to show you, and this one should be pretty familiar, it's your text tool. You just click. You're going to click on it, and then you can type. I'm going to say hello. You also have the option to type vertically. Let me delete this. In order to type vertically, you just click and hold it, and then you can select type vertical. So I'm going to click here, hello. So again, it types vertical, but I'm going to go back to horizontal. And then I'm going to move the text with my selection tool. Whereas if I had the hand tool, it would move everything in the composition, right? All right, and then again, just like in Premiere Pro, you can customize your text. You can choose the size, the fill, the color. You can add shadow. You can center it if you like. And again, those are just some of the tools here. Selection tool, hand tool, zoom in, zoom out, rotation tool, pan behind, your shape tool, your pen tool, and your type tool.